Welcome to Food.Cook.Share. When you think of warming comfort foods, few can compete with the satisfying simplicity of sweet, tangy baked beans. Let's do it. We start with the humble white pea bean, also known as navy beans. You need to set aside 16 hours. These luscious legumes take time, but not really that much effort. Measure out 2 cups or 454 grams of dried beans and sort them. We need to make sure there is no debris like bean-sized rocks. That would be an unpleasant surprise. Yes, this is an agricultural product and stuff gets missed. Better safe than sorry. I always make a double batch, so we sort another 2 cups, a total of 900 grams of beans. Give the beans a good rinse to get rid of anything they picked up in processing or extra starch, then cover with 5 to 6 centimeters of water. Now set them to soak for 8 hours so they hydrate. This basically reduces the cook time and helps the beans become tender. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, they're beans. Not much to look at yet. All you'll notice is that they have plumped a bit and the skins on some of them are loose. Now that they've soaked, changing the water helps get rid of some of the indigestible sugars. Empty the water, rinse the beans again, and then return them to the pot. Cover with the same amount of water. Put them on heat, cover, then bring to a boil and simmer for 30 minutes. After simmering, the water looks cloudy from those sugars we want to get rid of, so we're going to drain and rinse the beans one last time. I promise. Now add 10 cups of water and put them back on the heat. The sauce is what gives the beans their flavor. So I always start with a 1 liter measuring cup, to which we add 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 1 cup of ketchup, half a cup of molasses, 1 teaspoon of prepared mustard, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic. Give that a good stir to combine and set aside. Peel a large onion, but just leave it whole. It will impart plenty of flavor. And for those who are not fans of onion's texture, it will be easy to remove at the end. Beans cry out for pork. Use whatever cured or smoked pork product you like. Just make sure there is some fat, otherwise the sauce will be lacking a lot of flavor. I have 100 grams of slab bacon for the fat and an equal amount of ham to add some meatiness. Our bacon and onion are ready. The sauce is already done. Let's head to the pot. The final step for our pot of beans is to stir in the sweet and tangy sauce so that it is fully incorporated with the beans and the water. Pop in the onion and our pork combo. You will want all of the pork distributed in the pot so that it cooks well and renders out its fat. Now cover, make sure the crock pot is set on high, and let it go for 7 hours. Stir occasionally. And be careful when tasting, because this stuff is hot. For viewers who have watched the brown bread episode, you'll see that the red crockpot is in the background of the video. This is because right now you are done with the beans and have plenty of time to make brown bread. If you click on the link at the top right of the screen right now, it will take you to the video where you can find the recipe in the description section. For those who already made their brown bread, let's just kick back and wait till the beans get done. Check the beans every 2 hours or so. Give them a good stir and taste for how tender they are. Also, you're checking that the beans stay covered in broth. Evaporation and the beans still absorbing liquid can reduce the broth level, so add water as needed to keep them covered. Keep the lid on when not checking the pot. Will maintain the temperature and reduce evaporation. Let's have another look. The beans are still covered in the broth, but the level has dropped a little, which is what we want. The onion looks very tender, still holding together. Between the 4 and 6 hour mark, I will often take a bowl because the beans are just al dente and the sauce is thin, becoming the perfect bean soup. Delicious. But they're still not baked beans, so lid back on and keep on cooking. Once more onto the breach. As my father would say, looking good. For me, these are perfect baked beans. The sauce is quite thick, but the beans are still a bit firm. This is where your personal preference dictates when the beans are ready. And since this recipe was developed from my family's version, it gets 1 more hour. Here it is, 1 pot of scratch-made baked beans. A piping hot savory something that will warm you up on a chilly night. I'll serve. The beans are thick and really tender. Some of them have dissolved into the sauce, making it look rich. Pieces of bacon and ham are dotted amongst the beans like little porky prizes. I had to throw in a slice of brown bread. There it is, the classic baked bean and brown bread supper. Let's have a taste. I'll take a nice big spoonful. The first sensation is hearty fullness of the beans and the sauce. It fills your mouth with the tomatoey tang from the ketchup, but even more so because of the vinegar and the mustard. Then it's sweet forward. Let me get some of that brown bread. A little sweet, earthy, perfect pairing with the beans. There you have it, baked beans and brown bread. A simple, satisfying country staple. Stay safe. Cheers.